This is When Does Brahms Come in podcast. I'm Sofia, and today we're going to discuss Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy. He was an outstanding German composer, virtuoso pianist, talented conductor, and teacher. He was often called the largest representative of the Romantic movement in classical music. He was born in 1809 in Hamburg into an influential Jewish banker family. Felix's grandfather was the founder of the Jewish Enlightenment movement and a philosopher. Therefore, from childhood, the boy had an opportunity to receive a diverse education as well as communicate with famous representatives of the intelligentsia. This had a response in the future, and at the age of 27, Felix Mendelssohn had a PhD. Felix's mother was his first music teacher, noticing the future composer's penchant for music. At an early age, he mastered playing not only the piano but also the violin and viola became his favorite instrument for the whole life. At the age of 9, he made his first public appearance as a pianist, and a year later he captivated the audience with his vocal abilities. And at the same time, he began creating music. Henry Heine called the young Mendelssohn a musical miracle because of his performances, piano, singing, and others. Felix Mendelssohn was inspired not only by communication with great people, but also by traveling. At the age of 16, he first visited Paris, and it inspired him a lot. The young composer met the high society of the creative intelligentsia of France. Mendelssohn is famous for rediscovering Johann Sebastian Bach, and who was undeservedly forgotten at the time. And thanks to Mendelssohn, now we hear so many works of great Bach and simply hear his name so many times, even per day. One of his most famous works is the overture to Shakespeare's comedy A Midsummer Night's Dream. It was written in 1826 and was the first example of a new genre, overture. Overture never been an independent work before, and Mendelssohn conceived it as a concert or program one. Thereby, he opened a way for a new genre of symphonic work, and actually it was later discovered by Ferenc Liszt. Felix accurately described all the images that exist in the comedy of Midsummer Night's Dream. And, by the way, his most famous wedding march is from this overture. In the autumn of 1836, Felix Mendelssohn married Cecilia Jean Renaud. Then he found the long-awaited harmony. The wife was not particularly intelligent, but she was very caring for the family. And Mendelssohn said that more than once that highly educated ladies from high society were disgusting to him, so Cecilia was great for it. She was his muse and inspiration, and thanks to her, Felix drew new creative ideas from family happiness. For example, the establishment of the first conservatory in Germany, in Leipzig, was thanks to Cecilia. Felix Mendelssohn often communicated with royal families, that was Queen Victoria and others. In 1841, King Frederick William IV of Prussia summoned the composer to Berlin and tasked him with reforming the Royal Academy of Arts. Felix resolutely took on this, but received a denial from the Berlin intelligentsia, and after which he has left the city. And in 1845, the Saxon king conceived Mendelssohn to return to Leipzig. Felix became the leader of the Gewandhaus Orchestra again, and stayed there until the end of his life. Felix Mendelssohn was working as a conductor, composer, pianist, and sometimes teacher. And during the latest period of his life, he worked on a triptych of oratorios, Elijah, Paul, Christ. It was on the religious theme, and it was conceived in his youth. He toured a lot, including presenting parts of this triptych. And writing oratorios occupied a large place in his life and greatly undermined his health. In the autumn of 1847, Mendelssohn suffered 2 strokes and died in November at the age of 39. How young he was! His beloved Cecilia was with him until his last breath. Worth noting that Felix Mendelssohn was not only passionate about music, but also loved to draw. He used watercolor and pencil very well, and often included humorous drawings and notes in his letters to friends. The Mozart of the 19th century, as Robert Schumann called him, greatly inspired Johannes Brahms, and echoes of Felix's works can be found in Johannes too. Brahms will come to see us again, but for now, see you soon. This was When Does Brahms Come In podcast, and sincerely yours, Sofia.